So this is now day 4? Day four. Today is get the plywood on. As you know from the last video, least favorite thing to do, but cost-wise, most effective thing to do. I've got some nice coating to put on it, but yeah, I'm gonna do that instead of finishing up the railings here because I need a couple nice days to put that Rust-Oleum rock solid onto the plywood and dry and cure so that when it rains, it's gonna be completely weatherproof. So what I'm going to use today are some of these tools down here on the ground. So let me show you my menagerie for today and give you an idea of what I'm going to do with them. Here I've got obviously my tool belt, I've got a stud finder, my speed square, I've got my clamps, I've got my dead blow hammer, I've got chalk line to help me figure out where I'm putting all these deck screws in, I've got a couple of saws, I have my impact drill, I've got my circular saw, knee pads, and hammer, and of course gloves. So how about we get at it? Plywood, oh plywood, he gets the job done. Plywood,
Lippy 2.0.
plywood, it's a lot of fun. Plywood in the day, plywood all night. Oh plywood, plywood, gets the job done. I'm gonna start cutting the notches in the wood to make room for the posts on the second floor to fit into this like a jigsaw. I'm gonna use my jigsaw to cut these pieces out, but first, since I'm up on the playground and the saws are gonna cause a lot of vibrating, I'm going to clamp the wood down so it doesn't start shifting on me while I'm cutting it. So I'm gonna do that in a couple spots first. Get rid of some of the burrs. Those are the rounded up pieces of wood. And we've got our first cut. Yay! Time to do the next one. Always make sure that the saw comes to a complete stop before you remove it so that it doesn't move and splinter wood into your face, and also you don't risk cutting yourself as it's still moving. There.
Got
Like
it?
a glove. That is super. Oh, that's super square. All those cuts worked out perfectly with no, almost pretty much no gap. All right, now I just gotta do that 3 more times. Okay, so I ran into a little bit of a bind, literally. No matter what way I turned my plywood after I made those cuts, I should have thought about it that as I was sliding it into place, I didn't cut it where I needed to slide it, like extra openings in order to get it around the post before it gets into the notch I made for it. So I have to pull it down, and then I have to cut it down the center, and then I will bring each half up and lay it in separately. Fun. Well, live and learn. One other thing that I decided to make a executive decision on, a box frame down the center of the first floor and the second floor to help me tie the plywood down where they meet so there's less flex in the center. Adding a little extra structural integrity to this is gonna give me a little bit more peace of mind. So now I gotta get these last 2 pieces on. I'm calling it quits tonight. smooth. That's what I'm talking about. Now that's how to make a joint. Right there. Now that's a butt joint. Tight. That is exactly what it needs to be. A little off here. My playground is about 1/8 of an inch off square. I'm happy. Let's get some chalk lines on this and start sending the screws in. And then pick up. I need to eat. Badly. Oh my god. Whew. Okay, friends, so that's the end of today. I don't know what day it is anymore. Tomorrow it's sand it down, prep it, and then start to finish it off with a Rust-Oleum rock solid. The decking, that is, so that I can waterproof it. There's a few spaces and gaps just because of how off it is a little bit, like just a little bit. So I'm gonna take some liquid now, fill in the gaps, let it harden, sand it down, and then coat the whole thing. And then it should be good to go. Now we gotta do your chalkboard, gotta add the rest of the balusters, gotta build the rock wall, have to attach the slide. After I get the thing probably coated in Rust-Oleum, I'll put the slide on just because then it's gonna look legit. And then there's no more guessing what this thing is. Other than that, I'm out.